Today we are going to do an experiment. We're going to take 2 raw eggs, and in a little while I will prove to you that they are raw eggs. And we're going to place them, we're going to put one in a tissue box with tissues, and we're going to put another one in a bag of Rice Krispies. And we're going to drop them from our balcony up above on the 2nd floor, and we're going to see if the egg can survive the fall. First, what we need to do though is we need to figure out a couple measurements like volume and mass on each of these items, where we have the combined volume and the combined mass. To get the volume of the tissue box, we are going to just take a simple measurement. We're going to measure length times width times height and multiply them together to get our volume. Our length on this is 4.5 inches. Our width is 9.5 inches. And our height is 5 inches. And so we write those down and we will multiply that together to get our volume. The problem is with the cereal bag, as you can see, it's going to be difficult to get a volume just by measuring length times width times height. And it's not a true cylinder, so we can't use circumference. So with an irregular shape, we need to take and use a water displacement. So we take and place the bag of Rice Krispies with the egg in it, and we will fill with water. We're going to fill it up to a point where we know it should overflow, and we're going to take this plate, press it down, and water came out the top, so we know we're all the way to the top using this plate to press it down. And once we have that, we're going to pull the bag out. You're going to lose a little bit of water, so it might be a few milliliters off. We're going to then measure out how much water is left. And coming up with the measurement, we have 1,500 milliliters of water left in there. Now I've already taken the time and I measured out, and the total milliliters that this container holds is 3,575 milliliters. So then we'll take and subtract the 1,500 milliliters of water that we had left, and we come up with a total of 2,075 milliliters is the volume of this bag, the Rice Krispies, and the egg. You can still see the egg in there, and the egg. So that's the volume of that. Next, we need to determine the mass, and to do that I've got a kitchen scale that we happen to use to measure out our foods for lunch and stuff like that. So we're going to turn it on. We're going to make sure the scale is zeroed out with this cup. I have the cup on here so that I can hold it up in the air so I can read it. First, we're going to measure the tissue box with the egg, and we're going to come up with 12.6 ounces. So that will be one of the measurements that we're going to use. Next, we're going to take, and since I need a little more room to balance, we're going to put a plate on here. And again, we will zero the scale. We're going to set the Rice Krispies, the egg, and the bag on there. And we come up with 10.1 ounces. So now we have our mass, we have our volume. So the next thing we're going to do is drop it over the edge, see if the eggs survive. And when we do that, we're going to take a measurement of how high we're dropping it, and we're also going to measure how long it takes to drop that distance.